Just throw that in the glove box.
This car is not from the motor pool.
No, it's not. Sexy though, isn't it?
So where's the office, back at Division?
You in the office, baby. Going up. Today's a training day, Officer Hoyt. Show you around, give you a taste of the business, you know?
Schmitty, take DJ, enjoy that. He's going to definitely sprain something this season, and the Cardinals aren't even good. So I'm really not interested in David Johnson. So, yeah, good luck with that, Schmitty. Yeah. Drew Brees, David Johnson. I'm not personally, I mean, he's unbelievable. That's for sure. We all get it. But do I think he's going to last all season? I don't. I think he runs too hard. Yes, he's a brick house, but I think that house is going to fall down at some point. And how about that week? Huh? DJ going down? That's what I'm talking about. We are going to start off jumping back to one of last week's guests, Brendan Smith, dubbed as, I would say, Idiot of the Week based off of David Johnson's injury. I called it 2 weeks in a row. If you didn't just check that just now, it's been called. So I'd start listening from now on to what I have to say here because it is legit. So I'm going to go ahead and bring Brendan Smith on right now. We're going to bring Brendan on, and he's going to have 60 seconds to explain what the he was thinking by drafting David Johnson after he had a warning straight from this show. Smitty,
I'm gonna time that 60 seconds too.
Oh, we have a clock on the screen. You have 60 seconds. I want to know what you're gonna do and what you were thinking. Go.
Well, so let's just start that my team is not worried. We actually had a plan that we were going to sit him for around six to 7 days, weekends. And it worked out that he got injured. So we're still on schedule, and we're just going to run with Kareem Hunt and Fournette, and then he's going to be raring to go for playoffs. So by that time, I'm going to be, I think, 9 or maybe 10-0, and then we'll go right into playoffs.
You've got 30 more seconds. We're not convinced. 30 more seconds.
I don't even need the minute.
You need the entire minute.
I'll just say that. Hey, might as well just hang up on him now.
You have 25 seconds.
Pretty exciting stuff, though. That's all I can say.
You have 15 seconds. Tell the league what you're going to do. What are you going to do?
Well, from here on in, I don't want to give you guys all my secrets. As you can see, I put up the highest, the most numbers in the first week, but it was pretty good.
Boom, time's up. The good thing about David Johnson being injured this week is you're going to get a lot more time with him. You're going to get to know him. You're going to be able to see what he's like as a guy, and you're going to see if you want him on your team anymore or if he even wants to be on your team. I think that's important for your organization to figure out. Did you guys have an unbelievable week outside of David Johnson? You did. The Chiefs, unbelievable. I can't say enough good things about your roster outside of your dumb decision to draft David Johnson, which, again, I tried to help you with early on. I did. I gave you a lot of direct points And then I gave you a lot of indirect hints as well. So we're going to go ahead and this week in fantasy football, I'm going to put you guys on mute real quick. I would just like to take this moment to apologize to the league for my team's play. It was disrespectful. I thought it was irresponsible. And I think if my team plays again like that for another week, we will be punishing ourselves much more than we are now. And believe me, this wasn't an easy week. So I want to let you guys know it's not going to happen again. And I've talked to my team and my front office. And that's the last of it. I'm sorry. And it won't happen again. Okay, guys, can you hear me? Cody. We have Cody Goloubef on the line here with us today. Obviously, we have Brendan Smith. He's going to be back on the show here in a minute. But we have Cody Goloubef, someone I'm excited about, and I'll tell you why. This guy has never brought it to the table, not once. And is he this week, at the beginning of this season, is his roster sharp? Is his mind right? It is. And I'll tell you what, I'm excited. I think this guy's going to make the playoffs this year. Is he playing me this week? Yes. Does that look a little scary for him based off of my last week? No. But will I tell you something? I think my team, and we'll get into that, my team shit the bed. Okay, guys? I'm sorry. And I'll tell you what, it's not going to happen again. But Cody, welcome to the show. We are genuinely excited to have you. How do you feel about your team's roster and your play this last week? You're 1-0. How does it feel to have a win under your belt?
And you know, it's a good feeling. I mean, 1-0. It says tied for first on my screen, so that's probably the first I can say I've ever been first in the league, and I don't plan on giving that title back anytime soon. And you're going to really have to work this week to beat my squad. They had some good team bonding, a few nights out together, and a couple nice dinners, and they're ready to rock.
I love it. I am a little worried to play your squad this week for a couple reasons, based off the fact that my team took a week off on week one, and that's fine. I wouldn't say I'm excited about that, but I'm excited about teams like yours in our league. I'm not necessarily excited to face them just yet because I don't want to break you down because I like the role you're on, and it sucks that we have to meet so early. Because I almost don't even want to bring it down to 500. I'd almost rather take the loss to punish myself even worse based off of last week's performance.
Yeah, but it's just a good football matchup.
It's a great matchup.
That does put you in a lot of trouble.
It does.
It's a good football matchup.
It is a very. You know what? This is one I'm excited about, and there's not a ton of matchups that I'm super excited about throughout the week, the season, but this is one. And when I used to play you, I mean, I used to not even bench guys that had bye weeks because your team was so bad. But now I am. I'm bringing the guys.
My defense, last year I lost Danny Woodhead and Keenan Allen, both to ACLs. And, that's two big point guys every week that are now sitting in the trainer's room rehabbing knees. So
smart.
You lose two high picks like that, and then you get a couple guys that underachieve. That's just the way it goes. And the year before, I had Kelvin Benjamin, who also, hurt himself with a knee. And I picked him again this year because I saw the potential and I saw the ceiling he has. And I'm hoping that this week he's a little more sharp. He was a little bit rusty last week. But, you know what, Cam Newton wasn't his best either. And, they're going to get that chemistry going again here.
I like that. I do agree with you. I think last year was definitely an off year for some of the guys that were supposed to have good years. And now I think
if you go 0-2, you have to run the table. You understand that bet, though, right?
The table will be run regardless. Okay. And I hate saying that, having Cody on the line, because I respect his organization so much. But I have some serious bold predictions coming out of my team for this week. And I will say this. Yeah, I might have lost. Yeah, I might have had the least amount of points in the league. So be it. My team shit the bed. Okay? They did. But I'll say I am now number one on the waiver wire. DJ, whom you used to know as your starting running back, is now on the bench sitting in your basement trying to figure out what to do with himself. And I now have the Cardinals starting RB on my bench I don't know if I'm going to start him over Tevin Coleman this weekend. I might just want to see what Kerwin Williams has in him before I do that. I see that, Smitty, you picked up Chris Johnson for your roster. I think that you think that he might be the new David Johnson. That's not going to happen. That was 3 years ago. However many years ago. It was a lot of years ago, and he used to be good. The guy's got too many neck tattoos. I want someone that's reliable. Okay? So, I love it. I love that your injury is my gain. And I also love that your team was a little bit way too on fire, so if David Johnson was on fire as well, I'm not sure the league would have much of a chance. So I'm glad about this injury.
Maybe it puts everybody on the same playing level. I don't know.
Well, I think it puts you a little bit underwater, but I will say you're still on the same playing field, that's for sure, if you got that Chiefs team that's on a roll right now and your other guys bring it to the table.
Yeah, if I'm underwater, I must be in the submarine because I'm flying down there then.
Well, why don't you stop shooting torpedoes right now, and why don't we start with Cody's roster? If Ray, you got his roster there? Okay, Cody, we love your roster here. Matt Ryan, DeMarco Murray, Ty Montgomery, Brandon Cooks, Kelvin Benjamin, Delaney Walker, Terrence West. I don't really like him. He had a good week last week. And who cares about your defense and your kicker? Although your kicker killed it last week, which was stupid. 15 points?
He sure did.
I mean, Dan Bailey, what was he on last week? His foot was on fire. I loved that. That's nice to get something out of your kicker. I usually only expect 6 points average. Anything higher than that, I'm happy. But tell us about what you're excited about with your roster and why you think your team's going to continue in the direction that you're going.
Well, I think I got a lot of guys with lots to prove. I mean, Matt Ryan's a gunslinger, so he's always going to be looking downfield to the big weapons. So that was a no-brainer in my opinion. I think a few guys jumped the gun there early on QBs, and that's not my strategy. I think that you can get a good QB late rounds, and then I think DeMarco Murray was an absolute bag of shit last year, and it's time for him to step up to the plate if he wants to get paid anytime soon. So I feel like I'm going with the underdogs here. Ty Montgomery just plays in an all-world organization with an all-world quarterback, so he's going to get his touches. Brandon Cooks, same type of thing. I like who's throwing him the ball. He spreads it around, and a guy like that's used to playing with a future Hall of Famer last year in New Orleans. And then you go to Kelvin Benjamin. Like I said earlier, it's a big year for him. He's going into his third year on his entry-level deal here, and he's got lots to prove. He misses the season last year with the knee, or a couple seasons with the knee. I think that was actually last season. And it's time for him to step up to the plate. I think his potential is big, but his window is also closing. If he can't turn it up like he did in college this season, you're starting to see yourself slip out of the league. So I think he's got a fire lit under his ass. Delaney Walker, just veteran presence. Terrence West was a late pick, a depth add, as he is a starting running back in Baltimore. So I was just looking for, he's going to get 15, 20 touches a game, and that's better than, picking up somebody who's only going to be second or third string running backs. And then I got some great depth on my bench. I mean, Cooper Kupp, I'm telling you, if this guy's going to have a week, he's going to sit on my bench until he can show me a little bit of consistency. But the way he started, he's trending upwards and maybe move into my flex position sometime soon. I know talking to Porter about my roster, he wasn't overly thrilled with the Cooper Kupp pick, but I told Cooper that before week one, and he really shoved that down Dupp's throat. So I was really happy to see that young guy step up to the plate and prove haters wrong.
Wow.
Bardis, you have your hands full. I like that squad right now.
I
think Montgomery's going to have a day. I think Walker's going to have a day. So I think I'm looking for an 0-2 for Team Bardis.
Of course you are. Who wouldn't be at this point? I'm a contender, right? I'd be looking for 0-2 for me too. I just want to take a second and say, Cody, wow. Your assessment of your team, your knowledge of the game this season is astounding. And I want to just say hats off to you. I was wrong about your organization based off of I thought you just didn't care, but you were just growing your team. And it takes a few seasons. And I get it. You can't just win right off the bat. You got to learn the league. And I apologize for putting you in that category. I put you in a category with, let's say, like a Garad Plummer, whom we'll get into here in a second, or a Shane Connolly, who I think he's probably got 6 wins in his lifetime in this league, which is sad because I know he's got a ton of potential. Shane, if you're watching, I know you've got potential. Okay? You've got it. Just find it. Dig
Well,
deep.
you reach that
You've got it.
potential that remains to be unseen. So
Exactly.
we'd hate to see you get tough. You know, you got to step up to the plate, and that's something my team's done this year. I said that was in hot water, and I was learning the league as I went, and I think I've made some smart picks. I just need to stay off the IR here. I think that's been a big part of my trouble here in the last couple of years. And actually, if you look at my roster, I actually did lose somebody there to an injury, and my team, you know, we had a meeting about it, and they were okay with that. They were saying that, you know, it's time for the next guy to step up, and that's why I put Terrence West in this week. He's looking to fill the shoes here. It's unfortunate, you know, when you get injuries, and Allen Robinson going down with another ACL. I just don't. Maybe I'm training these guys too hard in the off season. Maybe the squats are too deep or too heavy. But
yeah, you guys are heavy on the weights.
But like
one door closes, another one opens.
Exactly, it's something I learned. So next summer,
reminds me of Kerwin Williams.
They're going to go to plyos.
Yeah.
So you know, it's a live and learn, and I definitely learned once again that ACLs are very touchy.
They are touchy. Another thing that's touchy is this conversation, because you're only 1-0, and I'm not going to say you're anywhere very far yet, but I do like where you're headed, and I'm going to stop there. And we're going to move on to Jared, someone who had a reservation on this show today, someone who called in, wanted to be a part of it.
Begged for the reservation.
Begged to get on this show, and then decided to take a work call. Okay? Decided to take a work call. Not sure how I feel about it.
That's unbelievable. I just got off the ice from a skating test.
Yeah.
I knew I could fill in for you, bud.
Are you kidding me? You're the first one on the list. You were. And so
that's the passion you have for the league and the respect he has for the commissioner. So it really makes sense as to why Mr. Smith's on the phone right now and Mr. Plummer's not. He's not a guy of integrity. He's not a guy of trust or loyalty. Honestly, he's fooling. He's fooling anybody who believes that. Because to beg to be on the show and then say he was at the Cubs game last night and then Friday at noon can't find half an hour to get and talk football. It makes me wonder, is he at home cooking Whitney lunch? I don't know.
Honestly, guys, it makes me sick to my stomach. It does.
I don't even think we should give him the time of day here and talk about him. I think we're wasting our time. We could be talking about bigger and better things.
I'd say maybe 10 seconds from each of you about Plummer and how you feel about him at this moment in time. Smitty, why don't you go ahead?
Well, I don't have much to talk about other than I just think that he's going to end up right where he was, out of the playoffs. I don't think he brings it. I think Cody hit everything on the just nail in the coffin, and that's going to be his squad. Nail in the coffin.
Fair enough, Cody.
I agree with him. I'm looking at his roster right now, and it didn't look like he did much preseason prep here. It's thin, and it's thin like his hair, and that's all we can say.
Yeah, I think honestly he would have been better doing auto draft. I think from now on,
he's losing his mind, and we're reaping all the benefits.
From now on, Jared, I think maybe auto draft's the way to go. You know, when you keep when you finally get a spot on a top-notch show like this, you don't take it, it says a lot about yourself and your dedication to the league. Do we love you as a guy? You're damn right we do, but we're just not sure we see it dedication-wise just yet in the league, which is fine. To each their own, and it only adds one spot out of the playoffs that one of us can join in. We're doing a new segment. It's called the Struggle Bus. This week in the NFL was a joke. A lot of guys big name guys, couldn't figure out what to do with the football, and I couldn't handle it. Guys like Julio Jones, Le'Veon Bell, AJ Green, even someone that I spent wasted time last week making a bet, which I will win based off of AJ Green's last night performance and his performance last week. An average of 9 points per game fantasy points is a joke out of AJ Green. Who would you guys say would be your top guy that you would add to the struggle bus from the NFL this last week that may not be on it already that I just mentioned?
Can I go with one player that that you've already mentioned, though?
Yes, you can.
I think the biggest disappointment is Lev Bell. I was shocked watching that game and could not believe the lack of touches or the way he couldn't break away from people. As the number 1 overall pick, it's a little alarming. That's all I can say.
Well, I don't think he got as many touches because they were playing from behind, and it's hard to run the ball when you're playing from behind. That's more of a wide receiver game. They're trying to chuck the ball downfield to catch up, gain some yards. And I think that was a huge reason why he just didn't get the chance that he needed. And this week he's facing Indianapolis.
All I know is a 3-down back is a 3-down back for a reason. It doesn't matter if you're behind in the game. You need them to bring you back.
I agree with that.
That's just my thought process.
I agree with that. I think he's going to get his snaps in, but I don't know if he's actually going to get the ball. But I do he's playing Indianapolis this week, joke of a team. Although, do I love Scott Tolzien as a guy? I sure do. And I think he's a great quarterback. I think there's, maybe a little work to be done on that team overall. And I say that based off of his great appearance this summer at your wedding, Cody. He was really a joy to be around.
He brought a lot to the table, actually.
He sure did. He did. I had never met him before. What a dude. Cody, who would you add to the struggle bus?
I'd like to go with Andy Dalton, actually. I know he's not a starter in our league, and he's definitely not going to be a starter in the NFL for long if he keeps up what he's doing. But I'm not sure what he did in the offseason. It's incredible how bad he has been, and it's sickening. I was watching the game last night, and even Deshaun Watson or whatever his name is there in Houston, I thought nerves got the better of him, and I thought he looked terrible.
Yep.
It's interesting. He looked uncomfortable the whole time. He looked nervous to get hit. He got whacked a few times. He couldn't make the throw when it was there, and it pains me to watch that kind of stuff.
I agree. I think Dalton has hurt not only AJ Green but Tyler Eifert, and it's all becoming right from the quarterback.
And those are weapons.
Yes.
I mean, if you can sling the ball to those guys, give me a break. I agree. It is a direct ripple effect. When the quarterback doesn't have a game, AJ Green, guys like Tyler Eifert, how are they supposed to perform? It's a complete joke. And But yeah, I think it all does stem from Andy Dalton. I think that's
that was a good pick, Gould.
That was a really good pick. We're going to move into two touchdown stud of the week. Guys, again, not your average superstar. Guys that I'll go ahead and start. I'm picking Terrell Pryor Sr. I think he had a really subpar. He had some good moments in his game. Kirk Cousins, again, just like Andy Dalton, didn't have the best game. Looked a little nervous. But I think their team this week is going to absolutely bring it back. And I think Terrell Pryor is going to have 2 touchdowns this week. I think they're going to be awesome ones. Smitty, who do you think? Who's your 2 touchdown stud of the week?
This is kind of exciting because he's on my roster, and I'm going with Michael Crabtree.
Ooh.
I think Cooper got the touchdown last week, and I think he's just going to see a lot of balls from Carr, and I think 2 of them are going to be in the end zone.
I love the Raiders as a whole, and I think Crabtree is going to be a great add. Well, he already was on that team, but I think he's going to be a great spot on that roster this season. I think he's going to absolutely have a season. I think that's a great pick. Cody?
I'm also going with a little bit of a biased opinion here because he's on my squad, but I got to give a little love to him. Just pick him up on the waiver wire. Marquise Lee, he's going to sit on the bench this week, but I think.
Oh, I love that. You waiver wire picked him up, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
I saw him sitting there.
Himself as Allen Robinson's number 1 replacement. I think he needs a big week, and I think that I think we're going to see it out of him. I think he's going to be a target there with that other clown they have. I can't remember his name. I had him on my team last year.
Alan Hearns?
Much for me.
Alan Hearns.
Alan Hearns. I can't stand Hearns. But
it all stems from Bortles. Bortles is brutal. If he's got an occasional good game. People used to compare him to Roethlisberger. Now he's just Blake Bortles. He's in his own league. He's brutal. But I love that. Marquise Lee's got a ton of talent. Just get him the ball. The guy can bring it in the end zone. But it's a huge waiver wire pick. I think it has potential to be a huge waiver wire pickup. I like that. I think that was smart. I'm glad, again, Cody, good to see you on the waiver wire after week 1 win. I love it. So we'll move right into our
contender, I think.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I'd say he's my sleeper of the year. It was Riley. Riley is 1-0, I believe, now. I can't call him a sleeper anymore because he always has good seasons. Riley, you're a contender, and we love that about your organization. Excited to bring you on the show sometime soon. But I think Cody is our sleeper, my sleeper pick for the season. We're going to go into our last segment. It's bold predictions for this week. It can be anything from you think this quarterback's going to throw 3 interceptions to 5 touchdowns to a 100-yard rushing game. Bold predictions starting with Cody. Do you have a bold prediction for us for this week? And it can be from your roster. It can be from multiple guys. Go ahead.
I'm going to go with the bold prediction that Colin Kaepernick actually picks up a contract here in the next week or so. I think that enough's enough, and if he can play, and somebody's going to give him a shot. So I think we're going to see him in the league here shortly.
Wow, I love that.
Wow.
And what team do you think needs a guy like Kaepernick the most right now?
Well, I mean, you could say a team like Cincinnati, but I don't think they're going to do that because they're overpaying that fire crotch. But you know what? It could end up being Houston. I mean, Deshaun Watson ain't going to get lucky for that long, and there's only so much that O-line can do to keep his diaper clean. So I think it could be Houston. I mean, they relish in that type of behavior, and I think that he might be a good fit there.
I love that prediction. I love it. Smitty, how about you?
I've got one. I think Larry Fitzgerald gets 10 catches plus, and
Whose team is he on? Do you know?
I actually.
Oh, he's on my team. You're damn right. Hey, I picked him up 50th overall, boys. Ridiculous.
Yeah, I think he's going to have a day. I think Carson Palmer's going to figure out he can't just run the ball all the time with David J. So I think.
Why is that? Did David Johnson get hurt or something?
No, we're resting him.
Oh, you guys are resting his wrist?
It's a precautionary thing.
Smart.
So I think that Carson Palmer's going to actually play a real game and actually throw the ball, and I think Larry Fitz is going to kind of just relish in that moment and bring him in, and I'm going to say over 120 yards.
I love that.
I like that.
I absolutely love that. That plays right into my bold prediction. I have 2, actually. Speaking of the Cardinals, I think they're going to be stronger, and it's hard to tell because David Johnson is absent, but I think they're going to be stronger without the weight of needing to give David Johnson the ball anymore. They can spread the ball, give Carson Palmer a chance to sit inside the pocket and sling it to those good wide receivers that he has. I like guys like J.J. Brown. I like guys like obviously Larry Fitzgerald. I think their team is going to be more productive without him because they got to work harder and they got to use more guys. I think you put the ball in one guy's hands too many times, of course he's going to break his damn wrist. And that falls right into, on my squad, my bold prediction for the week is I think I will have at least 3 guys have 100-yard games, and I will go with Adam Thielen, Terrell Pryor Sr., and Le'Veon Bell. And I believe that Larry Fitzgerald could be a 4th. I think my team, and I know based off of last week, you guys may not have a lot of faith in my team, but I think this is my team's week, and I'm excited. I think I have 300-yard players on my team, on my roster this week. That'd be my prediction. So,
It's a hell of a prediction.
Yeah, you're damn right it is.
Can't say I'm looking forward to that coming true, but if it does, that's a hell of a call. You're sitting with the crystal ball right now.
Yeah, it feels like it. It does feel like it, doesn't it, Smitty? After we talked about David Johnson.
I think one of those picks, maybe 2. I'm not giving you all 4 on those, but that will even with just 2 players is going to put that game real tight because I like Cody's squad this week.
So
I think that's going to be. I might not even be watching my week. I might be watching your guys' week because I know I'm going to win mine. I'm going to fleece Plummer, so I'll just watch your guys' week, and I'll enjoy this conversation that we had.
So with the bold prediction, if any of those come true, courtesy of Ring Pop, you guys will get a bag of Ring Pop sent to your door if that comes true this week.
I love rig pops.
Who
Send them
doesn't?
On my way.
Who doesn't? That's what I asked my ex to marry me with. It just didn't work out because she ate it. Well, I love
didn't like the flavor. I think.
Yeah, it just didn't last very long. It was too good. Well, I love it, boys. Thanks for coming on the show today. That's it. And we'll talk to you guys soon.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks, buddy.
All right, guys. See ya.
Yeah.
Oh, looks like you got me. Tom Bardis for Congress.
Paid for by the Tom Bardis for Congress Foundation. We approve this message.